everyone, and welcome to the Talk-o-nomics podcast. It's me, Annie Alexander. The podcast is brought to you by Amazix, and we're recording another live episode and another interview for Talk-o-nomics on our LinkedIn page. So make sure you follow Amazix LinkedIn page to be notified every time we go live. We do this once a week usually, so stay tuned, and I'll make sure that I'll bring interesting guests over. And speaking of guests, today I have a very interesting guest whom I met in Malta a few weeks ago. So let's bring him over. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the Tokenomics podcast. Alan is the founder and CEO of Towdust. We'll find out more about it a bit later. But how are you doing, Alan?
Very well. Little bit tired, but well.
Yeah, I think tired and our industry are, is a common trend.
Yes.
It's very, very fast paced. So yeah, it happens, especially if you're a founder and CEO. I guess, I would be surprised if you were not tired.
It's fun because you decide it, and I like it.
Absolutely. It's by choice, so it's great. I know that we share the common space of being in marketing. I know you've been in marketing before you got into Towdust. So would you like to tell me more about that?
Yeah, I was back at the end of the 90s. I was a journalist. I was working at Sky TV in Italy and a lot of newspapers and magazine. I think I wrote and make articles and interview almost for everyone. But then at the end of 2008, 2009, I started doing digital marketing, and my best use cases are for Samsung at Rio 2016 Olympics, and I worked with the second biggest bank in Italy, which is Banca Mediolanum. So, and also I managed a lot of Facebook and Instagram pages, just for fun, and when people talk about stupid stuff, but a couple of them had more than 1 million followers. So I enjoyed it until I discovered crypto, and then something changed.
Okay, tell me about it, because every time someone discovers crypto and blockchain and gets curious about it, they always use, not always, but very often they use this phrase of falling down the rabbit hole, and how exciting the whole experience has been. So
I walked around the rabbit hole a lot of times in the past. I saw the Bitcoin for the first time when it was like, 30 cents or something like that. But for me, it was just something from the internet, and I didn't make my research. So I stepped over and I saw it again when it was $30. And inside myself, I told me, okay, you stupid, you could have bought when it was 30 cents, and now you have 100x. So don't buy it now, because it already made.
Yeah, you're too late already.
Yeah. Then I saw it again at 300, then at 3,000, and then when it was $16,500, I decided to put little money. It was like half December 2017. But despite of what everybody did in that period, I started doing a lot of research. So I was doing marketing for, 8, 10, 12 hours per day. And then I was spending the other 6, 8, or 10 hours per day researching about cryptocurrency, about altcoins, reading all the white papers of the projects that were on the market at the period. The sentiment of the community, tokenomics, the background of the team, like what the biggest influencer of that period were doing. And my little investments, when I first bought the Bitcoin, I had like 0.04 Bitcoin. And after 4 or 5 months, I had 26.3. So things went very, very good. I opened a Telegram group, not because I wanted to sell something, but it was just for Italians. I am from Italy. And I knew that I didn't know nothing. So I hoped that if I share what I know and you share what you know, maybe 1 + 1, we can make 1.5 together.
Yeah.
But people were just following me. So if I say, okay, I like one chain, everybody buy one chain. If I say, oh no, I'm leaving one chain, everybody is selling one.
Wow.
Just a sample. And I tried to educate them because I didn't want to be the one who tells you what you have to do, but I want you to understand
it's a
what
big
you're doing.
responsibility, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's risky.
And but I realized that the group was not so big, but 300 people.
Yeah.
And none of them understood what they were doing and why they could buy something or wait for something or not buying something else.
Yeah.
And I think all of them, I would say 99% of them, losing all their money. Some of them fall into scam. Some others bought something and they didn't know what they were doing. So, but the main misunderstanding was that if I have 10 million tokens on a project that has 100 million total supply, so I own 10% of the company. But yes, it's not exactly like that. You own just 10% of the product that the company will sell. But if you don't get this, it's hard for you to get out of it. So I wanted to bring something safe for the people to the environment. And already in that period, it was more than 1.5 years ago, I thought that the security tokens and tokenization of the assets could have been the future. So I completely stopped the trading, and I resigned from my job.
Wow.
And I took my family to Malta, and I wanted to find a legal framework to get tokenization of the asset recognized by the government. I've talked in Europe with around 120, 130 lawyers or law firm, and all of them told me, "You fucking stupid, you can't do that." I said, always, why? Because nobody has done it.
Wait, let's go back. Let's just pause here because I would like to dive into it a bit more in terms of the legal aspects of it and everything else. But you mentioned something like very drastic decisions in life. That is the turning point usually for most of the entrepreneurs. You said you quit your job, you took your family, and you moved to Malta.
Yeah, because the 26.3 Bitcoin, it was like 100,000 euro, more or less in that moment. And for me, it was an amount that I never earned. And it was enough to start building something that would be useful for me and for the little baby that I had 6 months before.
Was it a leap of faith, or you truly believe that it's going to work out? You knew that this is the thing?
No, I think that the power of the blockchain is something that we can discuss about how to use it. We can't discuss about is it powerful? It is. It's not a maybe it is. It is powerful. So you just have to use that power for something that is helpful for everybody. And
okay, so you had that idea and you were thinking about that, whatever you're going to build will be around tokenizing assets, right? Yeah. Or you had a concrete plan in place already, or you were just exploring the field?
No, so I thought that in that moment, the hype of the ICO, it was a real bubble. I'm again saying that cryptocurrency is a bubble, but that period was a bubble. And the bubble was not good and fair for the average retail investor or for the crowd. But if we use the same instrument that were used for the bubble for something that is good for the future of the humanity, it should work. I didn't realize that it could have worked like it is working, but for me, the future was there, and the future is there.
Okay, so you spoke with more than 100 lawyers, and they told you that this is, this is not.
Yeah, I mean, more than a half of them, they literally told me, "You fucking stupid. You can't do that."
So was there a moment there, after the first or second or third lawyer who told you that, where you were like, oh my God, what did I do? Should I actually give up? Is it something visible?
No.
So
absolutely.
What kept you going forward?
Because, for me, it was 1 + 1 = 2.
So it was that obvious to you.
It's so obvious, and then I just have to talk with someone who's as crazy as me to understand what they want to do.
Okay, so you found someone who was as crazy as you, and what happened next?
Then I had I spent 97% of everything I had before having a yes. So after 97%, I was still at the beginning point, but for me, it's not the beginning point because every no is a step forward. Yeah. But so I had 3,000, 4,000 euro in my bank account, but I kept on going because all the lawyers wanted to get paid to tell me no, to listen to me. The first one told me literally 12,000, something like that. But then I was more educated, and I negotiated before, and not after the consultation. By the way, he said, yes, you can do that. You can do it. Okay, can I? Okay. So I used the last money to fund the company, and I started to talk to everybody like, I'm doing this. You follow me? Because I knew that I had all the aspects in my mind from an idea and for marketing, but not on a technical side. So I found Federico. Now he is Saudac CTO. And he said, okay, I will take care of all of this. And then it's like a snowball. And 2, 3, 4, now we are 18 and we are traveling the world with this. And we are consultant for Mongolian government in tokenization. And in 2019, I traveled for 160,000 kilometers.
Oh wow, that's intense.
And every day, despite of my bad English, every day I speak with a lot of persons. Not because I want to sell something, just because I want to spread the vision.
Yeah, I get it.
And I think it's just a matter of time for the global environment to get close to tokenization.
Okay, I get it. So you basically chose probably, among all these different possibilities in blockchain that you could end up with the project or the startup. Yeah. You chose the probably most regulated side of it, the most kind of complex one from the legal perspective, and obviously. As you said, the legal specialists in that sphere had two completely different extreme views on things, and it's not a very straightforward, very clear space just yet because it's still very raw and still developing and still early. Yeah. Do you think that by being in that regulated space specifically makes things harder for you than some other startups in the blockchain space because of that?
For me, I can't compare to other stuff. So if we talk about Tamazix, maybe yes. because Amazix does a lot of stuff, but you don't have your token, etc. But I can't compare what I do and the security tokens with the ICOs and the utility tokens. Is it harder? Yes. Can they be compared? No, because it's two different worlds, totally different. So yeah, I could do marketing in blockchain, but I've been doing marketing for 10 years, and I felt that this is something that could be greater.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's good we went back to marketing, because I remember when we were in this transition, when RCO space was kind of, being partly replaced by the STO alternative and issuing security tokens.
Yeah.
The market, I mean, I had a feeling, I don't know how you felt about it, but I had a feeling that the importance of the marketing somehow was diminishing, but because there were so many legal limitations around what you could and what you could not do for the security token promotions, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like the freedom is slightly more limited for marketing specialists.
It is, for instance, we have our own token, but I never promote it. Never. I promote it when I am in 101, but otherwise I'm not allowed legally to talk about it.
You are not. So when you're not allowed legally to promote a security token, what are the alternatives? How do you approach marketing the projects who are issuing security tokens? Because you still need to raise awareness, you still need the brand to be known, right? To get some exposure. How do you kind of approach this?
On a marketing perspective, what we are doing is just sharing the idea, without us, I mean, it's just sharing the idea of what we are doing and telling the people in our own way, which is the more human way possible, what we do every day. So, for instance, I share a lot of Instagram stories, and I talk about everything. I don't care what you think about me. I just do it. And this being natural, because we do what we show what we are doing, is appreciated. And also people know that Annie in her private is a girl, and then he can be, even if it's a strange girl, he can be a good professionist in what she does every day. And that's the same for me. I don't care if you misjudge me because I'm wearing this t-shirt or I'm not a sweet, but if you go deeper, you are smart, you can understand that what we are doing is good. And if you don't get it, I don't mind. The next
you're not for us.
Yeah. That's what we are doing. On talking about projects that we are helping in tokenization, they can't promote them legally until they have a prospect approved.
Yeah.
So we had them having a prospect approved, and then when they get the approval, they can do marketing, and we help them.
Okay. So what are the main, I mean, you mentioned human way, which I really love, because I've been talking a lot about humanizing tech and kind of, looking at the stories and human everyday implications of the tech, rather than going deep into the tech terminology and going deep into explaining people how the blockchain will actually work under that project. So what do you think? Like, do projects actually understand the power of the storytelling and the power and the importance of the marketing, or we are still at a stage where the tech side is more serious and important, and marketing people are these crazy people who just run around and kind of,
Second one is good. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to tell them, but I'm used to it. And if you are not, it's not easy to let you understand. But then it's just a matter of being confident in what you do and who you are and what you are offering. And then people start doing it.
Okay, so do you feel any difference from when you just started up to now in terms of the styles of the marketing blockchain projects? Has anything changed, and if yes, what?
Well, the big question is, what are the blockchain projects now?
Yeah. What are they?
Yeah. I mean, I saw a lot of so the first time I've been to Malta Blockchain Summit, it was like I don't know, 100, 200 projects and ICO.
Was it
And
last year or?
yeah, maybe last year, 2008.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the last edition when we met, how many ICO did we have? Maybe 2, 1. Yeah, and all the others are consultant, law firm, and exchanges. So it seems that there's no one that wants to jump into the blockchain space now. But and if I ask myself why, the answer would be because they saw the ICO failing. But is the blockchain space just ICO? No. So that's why I'm absolutely confident that it's just a matter of when.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, ICOs obviously failed, and I keep saying that it's basically a failure caused by the participants of the ICO, both the token buyers and the projects. Both had their share of responsibility for the ICO model of not being so credible anymore, and people not willing to participate in them anymore. So now we have mainly IEO and STO kind of alternatives to fundraising. I have heard by many that the STOs is not exactly an alternative because it's quite expensive and complex to initiate an STO. It requires some resources. I was even joking sometimes saying that probably people have to raise seed funding in order to be able to fund their STO initiative. So so how do you look at that? Is it equally democratic to everyone, and is it kind of, is it basically filtering out the not so ready projects, or is it just cutting off the people who can't afford it? How do you look at the security token issuers?
I mean, there are a lot of barriers. You can move over the barriers if you are ready, if you are structured, if you know what you are doing. If well, 2 years ago, if me and you, after this chat, we wanted to launch an ICO, I think we could have been online in 3 days. If with our own token and with super easy smart contract and
with your Telegram group, we will definitely get funded.
Exactly. Then hire an influencer and everything is finished. Now no. Now you have to have a real business plan. You have to have a real company behind. You have to be responsible for what you do, in the good and in the bad. If you cheat, if you scam, you go to jail. The government has to approve what you are doing, and this is expensive. So if you don't have money, you can do that at the moment. And at the same time, you have to be serious and structured, because if you just have a company and an idea, but no business plan, no advisor, nothing, it's hard for you to launch a security token offer. But at the same time, if you're serious, if you are structured, you can use this instrument to raise a big amount of money, not just to raise money, but to raise money and use for the purpose you
commit to what you promised.
For instance, let me tell you this sample. In one of my last travels, I met a Mongolian entrepreneur. Very big Mongolian entrepreneur, and he is the owner of a mountain, and he knows that under the mountain there's a lot of gas. And he told me, okay, digging to find the gas would be expensive because it's like $10 million, and the average salary in Mongolia is like $150. per month. So 10 million is very, very, very big money.
Yeah.
But, and they said, okay, I have industry from companies from China, from Russia, from Kazakhstan that want to help me digging, but they want 50% of it, of everything.
Yeah.
And but can I go through tokenization and explain everything and let the crowd help me and not selling them 50% of my assets? Yes. So what we are trying to create for him is like a token that represents a revenue share, and people buy it, and if they will find the gas, they will have huge earning. If not, people will lose the investment, because he said, okay, you dig, but you never know when you find the gas. Maybe you spend 1 million and then you find the gas and that's it. Maybe you spend all of 10 and you don't find the gas.
Still nothing.
And you lost your investment. So the project is super serious. It's also backed by the government in there, but they still need some money. So can a fund go through it? Maybe yes, but most probably no. Can a retail investor go through it? I think yes, because me and you, we put there 100 euro, and we take it as a dinner outside. If it goes, maybe we have 5,000. If not, we lost 100.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect example of how tokenization can work, and can be useful from both sides. For him, for the project owner, because he is able not to sell and to lose the property of the project. For you to have an alternative of an investment, which is serious, guaranteed by a government, recognized, where he is responsible if he doesn't do what he promised to do.
Yeah.
And you can, and you don't have something that you don't know what will happen next.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of the chances of people just getting the money and disappearing is way lower. So there is some kind of decrease in risk in that sense, and the filtering out of the projects which are ready are by default already kind of you end up with better quality as a result. So tell us about Taodust. Like, what exactly is it? A platform that helps projects tokenize equity?
So at the beginning, my thought was I told you about my experience with crypto when I made from 0 to 26. But at the same time, I was talking with a friend, and he said, "Oh, I just invested in equity crowdfunding. You know, equity crowdfunding platform like Seeders in UK.
Crowdcube, Seeders,
exactly. Basically, for those who don't know, you go to this kind of platform. It's like Kickstarter, but instead of purchasing product, you purchase equity, little amount of equity from all kind of companies. And this environment started around 2015, and it's now growing like 4,500% per year.
Oh,
and
wow.
And it's now worth 130 billion. So very, very big. And this because people don't want to leave money in the bank and have 1% per year. They just want to find something different. And but the problem is that if I invest in your pizzeria in London and I get 10% of it, and you
I wish I had one.
Yeah, I know you have, but you don't want to have. And in 5 years, your pizzeria does well, and my investment grow up in terms of evaluation. How do I monetize it? I need money because I want to get married. How do I monetize it? I can come back to you and ask you, Annie, buy back my 10%. But you can say, no, Alan, I don't have money, I don't care, whatever. Or I have to find a friend who
will replace you.
Or I should wait for Pizza Hut to come and buy everything and liquidate everybody. This Pizza Hut coming is called exit in
Yeah.
But the exit comes 2 times on 1,000. So 998 times on 1,000, even if I make a good investment, which I'm not sure when I put the money in, I'm not able to exit from it. So I wanted to go in that market and offering exactly the same things, but with tokenization of assets. So I can bring liquidity to this illiquid market. And the market is growing 4,500% per year. So it's super easy. And that's what Taudast started to do more than 1 year ago, almost. Well,
Okay.
no, 9 months ago, but it's the same. Okay. But at the same time, this is good for small and medium company, because I can't put on an equity crowdfunding platform the mining mountain for the gas because it's too big. And so big companies approached us and asked us, okay, we have this kind of project. For instance, this is another one. An Italian football team from second division, told us, okay, we want to build a stadium. We don't have the money. We need 50 million for doing that. And what we can do is creating some sort of rewards for all the holders. And so the supporters of our team can invest in our security token, can receive dividends every Sunday when we play a match. And also maybe they can have, I don't know, 1 year seat, 5 year seat, depending on the amount.
Yeah.
And so for this kind of company, I can't go on an equity crowdfunding platform because 50 million is too much. And so we have now also a legal framework and everything from the technical side covered to let them being tokenized almost in 4 months. So
I mean, that's a good time frame.
Yeah, so at the beginning it was, we are an equity crowdfunding platform with asset tokenization. Now we are that one, but we can also help you getting tokenized.
Okay, you mentioned something very, very important, which was liquidity. So the shares are not liquid until the company either exits or does an IPO, or is willing to buy back their shares, right?
Basically, we are doing IPO without doing IPO.
Yeah, you're doing an IPO without doing an IPO. The secondary market, the liquidity part of it. There are lots of cryptocurrency exchanges for tokens. After all the tokens that have been out on from the ICOs and are listed on the exchange. I know that even the price is not favorable or whatever. I know that eventually I can sell it somewhere, right? What happens with the STO market? Like, let's say I've bought a security token. In which stage are the security token exchanges? Is there any liquidity? Will I be able to actually sell it later on?
So as for today, you can't trade them. Cannot.
Okay.
No. Okay. But at the end of October, for instance, in Malta, my company is based in Malta, so I do very well about that environment.
Yeah.
Malta closed on the 31 of October. Malta closed the request to get the security tokens exchange license. They received 38. And among these 38, there are all the biggest that everybody knows, and also some new. And from what I know, at least 15 of them will be licensed. I think that the first asset that we at Taudast will have tokenized will be on the market around March. And I'm pretty sure that in that period, there will be at least one security token exchange.
Okay.
And even if it will not, also there, it's just a matter of weeks, because Switzerland is moving in that direction, Malta is moving in that direction, Estonia is moving in that direction, and yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. So do you think, like in the future, what do you think? How far away are we from the point where the actual, stock exchanges will move to blockchain-based?
So this is a funny thing, because we didn't talk about it, me and you, but so I thought in my marketing way, a human marketing way, I always talk like I'm talking to you, not caring about anything. And we've traditional big players that told us, okay, this is something that can literally shift the traditional financial market.
Yeah.
We want to get on board with you.
Yeah.
And so now this is what we are doing in Italy. We are trying step by step, dealing with everybody to move the traditional finance also to tokenization. How you do that? With one big use case. If you have one very big use case that for everybody, they recognize it, okay, they are super strong, they always did something good, and now they're doing this, so I can do this too. This is
Okay.
I hope, this is a hope, not a certainty, that in 2020 we will have one of them. But I mean, we have a lot of one on the table. It's just a matter of putting all the puzzle pieces together in the right way.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's moving quite well. I mean, the time frame you are describing is not very far away from the future. It's pretty close. And looking at your journey from the time you bought your first Bitcoin at all-time high, probably, until now, it hasn't been too long either when you look at it from the calendar perspective. No. I mean, I know that lots of things have happened in the blockchain space from that time on, but originally it's kind of very inspiring to see how fast everything moves and how closer we get to where we would like to get eventually. So I think it's a really great idea. I think it's kind of very nice way to start shaping the more responsible space for crowdfunding. And I hope that we will see more and more really exciting projects.
I'm absolutely sure about it. Sometimes I talk with the people who's trying somehow to do not the same, but maybe something similar or a part of what we are doing, etc. And when someone introduced me to them, they are scared that, maybe they fight. But I think that the world is so big and there's so much space for everybody that we are open to collaborate with everybody everywhere in the world. Because now we have to do team all together. Because then the space is so big.
Makes sense. Okay, so if we need to conclude and wrap it up, can you sort of in a concise way describe, let's say I have a project, not the pizzeria probably, but something else, and I have an idea and I want to launch an STO and tokenize it.
Okay.
So what are the things, what are the practical steps that I have to make sure that I take care of, and what's the process? Like, what should I do? I have the idea, I have hopefully a good team. What's next?
Create a company for the beginning. Create a good business plan, get in touch with us or with someone like us that can help you going through the legal framework. And then when everything is done, get ready to do marketing.
Okay, fine.
So this is super fast. If the project is big, this is you have to do this and no other way. If the project is not so big, find an equity crowdfunding platform and like Taudas would be, I don't know, next summer. And you can not avoid marketing, but being helped in marketing. Because if you do it on Seeders, it's you and Seeders that do it together. So it could be easier. But for this, you have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, I get it. And still, I would say that, the team should do their own marketing at a minimum level, at least, because it's their project, it's their team, right?
Yes. This is the basic. I don't want to talk about it. Because if the team doesn't talk about it, why should an investor talk
why
about
should others care? Yeah, makes complete sense. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this. It was really nice conversation. And as I said, I hope we see lots of successful projects tokenizing their assets, and we see these big success stories.
Ciao, Annie.
Ciao.